Ever wonder why you keep setting alarms you never answer? Marcus set his for 5 a.m. every night for 2 years. Hit snooze every single time. Then one morning, he didn't. That decision took him from washing dishes for $9 an hour to running a creative department. But here's the part that'll haunt you. The only difference between his breakthrough and his breaking point was 14 seconds. The time it takes to stand up instead of rolling over. Marcus watched his supervisor walk into the security office at 2 a.m. carrying the missing laptop. His stomach dropped. "I can explain." "Save it. Security footage shows everything. You're done." 26 years old, fired for theft, no college degree, no references he could use. He sat in his car in the parking lot until sunrise, too ashamed to go home and tell his girlfriend. His phone lit up. Rent overdue. Again. Here's what nobody tells you about being broke. It's not the empty bank account that destroys you. It's watching everyone around you move forward while you're stuck in the same spot, year after year, making the same mistakes, having the same conversations, living the same disappointing Tuesday over and over. Marcus had been a warehouse loader since 19. 7 years of lifting boxes, going home exhausted, scrolling his phone until midnight, oversleeping, barely making it to work on time. Repeat. He'd tried changing, applied for better positions, started online courses he never finished, made plans he never followed through on. The laptop was supposed to be different. He'd borrowed it to finally learn graphic design. But borrowed without permission is just stealing, and now he had nothing. Except one thing happened during those 3 weeks with that laptop. He woke up at 4:30 a.m. one morning because his neighbor's dog wouldn't stop barking. Furious, unable to sleep, he opened the laptop and started a tutorial. 2 hours passed. He didn't notice. When his alarm went off at 7, he'd finished 4 lessons and felt something he hadn't felt in years. Progress. A week after getting fired, Marcus was washing dishes at a diner for $9 an hour. Night shift, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The manager barely looked at his application. They were desperate. He should have felt humiliated. Instead, he felt something else. His first night, he left work at 6:15 a.m. The city was waking up, coffee shops opening, runners on the sidewalk, the sky that specific shade of purple before sunrise. Marcus made a decision that would have sounded insane to anyone who knew him. He wasn't going to bed. He walked to the public library, waited for it to open at 7, sat down at their free computer, and pulled up the same graphic design tutorials he'd started on the stolen laptop. 7 to 9 a.m. 2 hours. Then he went home and slept until 5 p.m. His girlfriend thought he'd lost his mind. "You worked all night and you're going to the library. Just sleep." "I will. After." He couldn't explain it. But during those morning hours, something was different. The library was empty. His phone didn't buzz. His mind was tired from work, but somehow clearer than it ever was at night. No distractions, no excuses, just him and the thing he was trying to build. Day 3. He learned layer masking and typography basics. Day 12. He designed his first complete poster. It looked amateur, but it was his. Day 30. He'd completed an entire certification course, started a free portfolio website. The library staff knew him by name. His dishwashing job became the thing he did to survive. Those 2 morning hours became who he was becoming. 2 months in, Marcus was sitting in the library when he overheard 2 women talking at the next table. "Our designer flaked again. The event's in 6 days and we have nothing." He did something the old Marcus would never do. He walked over. "I design. Can I see the brief?" They looked at him. Wrinkled work clothes, dishwater smell still on his hands, and skepticism crossed their faces. But desperation wins over doubt. We need 3 posters and social media graphics. Budget is $300. Can you do it by Monday? Yes. He had no idea if he could. He'd never done real client work. But he spent the next 5 days in that library, from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., building something that mattered. Sunday night, he sent the files. Monday morning, they called. These are incredible. We want to hire you for our next 4 events. $1,200. More than he made in a month washing dishes. Word spread. Small businesses needed design work. Marcus kept showing up at the library every morning. His portfolio grew. His skills sharpened. 6 months after getting fired, he was making more freelancing in 2 morning hours than he made working full nights. Then his old company posted a job listing. Marketing coordinator. Design skills required. Marcus applied. Used the portfolio he'd built in the library. Got called in for an interview. The hiring manager recognized him. "Wait, didn't you work in our warehouse?" "I did. Until I got fired for stealing a laptop to learn design on. I deserved it. But that mistake taught me something. I was waiting for permission to change my life. Waiting for the right moment, the right resources, the right circumstances. That laptop was me finally trying, even though I did it wrong. So when I lost everything, I stopped waiting. Started showing up every morning and building what I actually wanted." He pushed his portfolio across the table. "This is 7 months of 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every single day. That's what I can bring here." They hired him, $62,000 a year, the same building where he used to load trucks. 3 years later, Marcus runs the entire creative department, but he still wakes up at 5 a.m. Not because he has to, because those hours built him, and he's not done building. Here's what he figured out that changed everything. Most people think they need more time. They don't. They need protected time. Time that belongs to them before the world wakes up with its demands and emergencies and distractions. 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. isn't about productivity hacks or optimization. It's about identity. It's about deciding who you're going to be before anyone else gets a vote. When you wake up early, you're not just getting more done. You're proving to yourself that you can keep a promise when it's hard. You're choosing future you over comfortable right now you. Do that every day for long enough, and you become someone capable of things that seem impossible today. Marcus didn't succeed because he was talented. Half the designers in his city had more natural ability. He succeeded because while they were sleeping, he was building. While they were watching shows, he was practicing. While they were waiting for perfect conditions, he was working with what he had. 2 hours a day for a year is 730 hours. That's the difference between dreaming about change and actually becoming different. So here's what happens tonight. You set your alarm for 5 a.m. Not 5:30. Not "I'll try it this weekend." Tomorrow. 5 a.m. sharp. You pick one skill. One thing that if you got good at it, your life would fundamentally change. Design, coding, writing, video editing, a language, doesn't matter what. Matters that you choose. You show up for 2 hours. Build that thing. Not when you feel like it. Every single day for 90 days straight. You sleep by 9 p.m. Cut everything stealing your evenings that isn't actually making you happy. You can't win the morning if you lose the night. Do this, and I can't promise you'll quadruple your income. Can't promise you'll get the dream job. But I'll promise you this. 90 days from now, you'll be someone different, stronger, more capable, more proven to yourself. And that person can do things you can't even imagine right now. Comment right now. 90 days with your starting date and the skill you want to learn. Make it real. Make it public. I'm checking every comment, and in 3 months, I want proof you showed up. Your life changes when you do, and that starts tomorrow at 5 a.m. Don't miss it.